You are welcome to my YouTube channel. We want to look at the topic Concord. Concord. Another name for Concord is agreement. So it is Concord or agreement. Students often make the mistake of calling this topic Concord and agreement. It is Concord or agreement. Another word for Concord is agreement. Concord. The objective we have for this video, number one, is to define Concord. We want to look at what Concord means in the English language. Then we shall also identify correct subject-verb agreement. That is correct subject-verb Concord. We shall apply the rules of Concord in sentences. There are rules. There are certain rules that guide Concord in English sentences. Then students will avoid common Concord errors. When students listen to this video, we are going to show them how to avoid common Concord errors. Let's go into the video. What is Concord or what is agreement? When we are discussing English language, what is agreement? Agreement or Concord is the grammatical relationship in which the words in a sentence agree with each other in number, in person, or tense. Agreement is the grammatical relationship in which the words of the English language agree with each other in number, in person, and in tense. Don't forget, when we're talking about words of the English language, by now our mind should settle on the part of speech. The part of speech. The English words we are referring to here are the part of speech. And when we talk of agreement, it's just a concept that guides the agreement among all these parts of speech. Talking about noun, talking about verb, talking about adjective, adverb, and so on and so forth. And what are we talking about agreement here? When you begin to use the part of speech to make sentences, then there is need for agreement. And that is the importance of the agreement we are talking about here. The most important type in the WAEC exam is the subject-verb agreement. That is, the subject and the verb or in a sentence or in an expression must agree in number, that is singular or plural, then in person. Talking about first person, second person, and third person. I will do a video very soon talking about persons in the English language. We have three major persons in the English language. The first person, the second person, and the third person. This is a very important topic I have to discuss very soon. Then we talk about tense. Don't forget I mentioned when we were discussing verb. We mentioned that tense is the expression of a verb in relation to time. Verb is the tense is the expression of a verb in relation to time. So the most important type of agreement that is paramount, that is commonly tested in the WAEC exam is the subject-verb agreement. Though other types have been tested, but this one comes first. So we are going to start from subject-verb agreement. The verb must agree with the subject in number and person. The verb must agree with the subject in number and person. Look at this example. Singular subject must have singular verb, and plural subject must go with plural verb. Look at this example. The boy plays football. The boy plays football. Singular boy. Then the verb form have to be singular also. Plays. Don't let us forget, I mentioned earlier in our previous video that when you talk about singular, the verb carries the S, unlike now. Then look at the other way around. The boys play football. the boys, more than one boy, play football. This is exactly the subject-verb agreement we are talking about. Let's look at the rules of Concord. The rules of Concord are the rules of agreement. The rules of Concord. What do we mean by rules of Concord? These are the instances of agreement that the English language expects of every student. That's why we call it rules. In all this use of words, a student of English must be able to apply the rules of agreement. There must be agreement. Number one, we talk about singular subject to take singular verb, as we have mentioned earlier. Singular subject takes singular verb. Example, the teacher teaches well. The teacher teaches well. Singular noun, singular subject, singular verb. Number two, plural subject takes plural verb. Plural subject takes plural verb. Example, the students are ready. The students are ready. More than one student are ready. Number three, subjects joined by and. Subjects joined by and take plural verb. Example, John and Mary are here. John and Mary are here. But one thing about English language, it's often said that to every rule, there is an exemption to rule. There is an exemption here when you use joint subject like bread and butter. This connotes one. So the use of the agreement here, the rule of agreement we mentioned here in number 3 does not hold. So it is bread and butter is my breakfast, or bread and butter is good for breakfast. Bread and butter is good for breakfast, or tea and bread is good for breakfast. So you can't say tea and bread are good for breakfast. That is wrong, because they connote one breakfast. Breakfast is a meal you eat in the morning. So bread and butter, tea and bread, they are to be taken as one food. So they go together. Now let's look at rule number 4, talking about agreement or concord. Subject joined by or, either, or neither nor. Subject joined by or, either or neither nor. There must be agreement. The verb agrees with the nearest subject. The verb in such expression will have to agree with the nearest subject to the verb. The nearest subject to the verb. Let's look at this example. Either the teacher or the students. Either the teacher or the students are coming, because the students is nearer to the verb are coming. You can see students nearer to are coming than teacher. So in this case, the verb will be plural. But let's look at the second sentence. Neither the students nor the teacher is coming. Neither the students nor the teacher is coming. So this time around, the teacher, singular, is nearer to the verb structure, and therefore the verb have to be singular. This is a rule that we must follow as English students. Let's take note of this. When you use or, either or neither nor, the verb will take the form that we have to take into consideration the nearest of the subject. Number 5, indefinite pronouns take singular verb. You know indefinite pronoun. Example, we have everyone, everybody, someone, nobody, each. These are indefinite pronouns. That is, pronouns that are not pinpointing somebody. So such pronouns are always considered singular. And therefore, the verb that will go with them should always be singular. Let's take note of that. Example, everyone is happy. Everyone is happy. Each of the boys has a book. Each of the boys has a book. Now let's look at number 6 rule. Rule number 6 under Concord. A number of versus the number of. Take note, I colored it, you can see. A number of versus the number of. I decided to make it red color because it's very dangerous. Students should be very careful and master this the use of this word. A number of versus the number of. What is the difference in this expression? That is the article A and the article B. When you use a number of students, the verb will be plural. A number of students are present. A number of students are present. But look at the second question, the second sentence. The number of students is small. The number of students is small. When you look at these sentences, you see that they connote two different things. In the second one, we are looking at the numbers of the student. The number of the student is a singular connotation, and therefore the verb has to be singular. But a number of students, the connotation is plural, many students. So let's take note. Rule number 7, uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns take singular verbs. When we were discussing of advanced nouns, I mentioned it that uncountable nouns are not to be counted. And for that reason, you cannot make them singular. Example, we have rice. Uncountable. You can't count rice. Water. You can't count water. So when you now want to use them in a sentence, information is useful. So you can't count it. Uncountable nouns are to be taken singular. You cannot count it. Advice. Advice is important. Example, advice is important. Information is useful, not informations and not advices, because they are not countable. Rule number 8, collective nouns. Collective nouns. The collective noun rules tell us that collective nouns can be singular or plural depending on meaning. Collective nouns could be singular or plural depending on meaning. Take, for instance, this word team. Team. The team is winning. That is, we have in mind the meaning here is that the team comprises of 10 or 11 members of the football team. The team is winning. But we can say the team are arguing when we are talking about individual members. Individual members. Or maybe we have more than one team. Team A, team B, team C. They become the team are arguing. Rule number 9, titles and names. Titles and names take singular verb. Titles and names take singular verb. For instance, mathematics, that is the name of the subject, and you say mathematics is difficult. Even though mathematics is in plural, it is mathematics is difficult. Things fall apart, that is the title of the book. It is titled Things Fall Apart is interesting. Things fall apart is interesting. Don't say because of the word things. You now say things fall apart are no. So it's things fall apart is interesting. Let's look at another rule number 10. Expressions of time, money, and distance. Expressions of time, money, and distance. This take singular verb. 10 years is a long time. Don't say 10 years are long time. If 10 years is a long time. That is, marking time 10 years ago is a long time. 500 naira is enough. 500 naira is enough. Then rule number 11, fractions and percentages. Fractions and percentages. Verb depends on the noun that follows that follows the verb. Look at this. Half of the cake is gone. Half of the cake is gone. The word cake is nearer to the verb element, the verb structure. So cake is singular. Half of the cake is gone. Then look at this other example. Half of the students are absent. Half of the students there, plural. Half of the students are absent. So these things require practicing. You have to, that's why as an English student, you have to do what we call use of English. And I'm going to come up with one or two videos, in fact many videos where we shall do use of English. Specifically, those videos will be based on use of English. But most importantly, when students join my online classes, these are the benefits students get because we try our hands on many of these things. Now let's look at the last one, which is number 12. The there is or there are. There is or there are. Verb agrees with the noun that follows the verb. Verb agrees with the noun that follows the verb. Look at this example. There is a book on the table. There is a book on the table. There here is the book follow the verb is. There is a book on the table. But look at this other example. There are books on the table. There are books, that is, the word that follows the verb is in plural. So there are books on the table. But if the book is one, it will be there is a book on the table. So the rule here is that the noun that follows the verb will determine whether it's going to be plural or singular. There are common errors that students often make when it comes to Concord or agreement. Number one, students use everyone. We talk about everyone as a preposition, as a pronoun, the indefinite pronoun. Indefinite pronoun like everybody, everyone, anyone, no one, each. These are indefinite pronouns. That is, it's not pinpointing somebody in particular. So when you use any of these indefinite pronouns, your verb will be singular. So when a student uses an indefinite pronoun with a plural verb, the student will be breaking the rule of Concord, and such a student will not get the mark. Another error is the list of items are long. When you say the list of items are long, that is very wrong. The correct use is the list of items is long. The list of items is long. The last one is the rule of there is or there are. There is or there are. Verb agrees with the noun that follows the verb. Verb agrees with the noun that follows the verb. Look at this example. There is a book on the table. There is a book on the table. The book follows the book here that follows it is in singular. So it is singular verb that we shall use. But the second example, there are books on the table. So the books are more than one. It's in plural. Therefore, a plural verb will be used. There are books on the table. Now let's look at some common errors students often make, where a student use the indefinite pronouns. You remember the indefinite pronouns: anyone, everybody, everyone, each, and so on and so forth. Every indefinite pronoun would carry singular verb. Indefinite pronoun carry singular verb. Then you talk about the list of items are long. The list of items are long. Emphasis here is on list, so not on items. List of items are long is a wrong use, but rather the list of items is long. The list of items is long. List here is a collective noun. No, a collective noun is a word, is a noun used to name a group of things or things that have common, something in common. So the list of items that we put together on the paper is called a list, and the word list there is a collective noun. Collective noun. Now let's practice this exercise. Choose the correct verb in these sentences. Each of the students dash present. Each of the students dash present. Each of the students dash present. The word each here is used, so it is each of the students is present. Each of the students is present. Question 2. The teacher and the student dash talking. The teacher and the student dash talking. The correct verb there will be the teacher and the student are talking. Example 3. Question 3. A number of boys dash playing. A number of boys dash playing. The right verb there is a number of boys are playing. And neither John nor his friends dash here. This rule, we remember, the noun that follows that is nearer to the verb will determine the whether it's going to be singular or plural. In this case, neither John nor his friends are here. Neither John nor his friends are here. So we have discussed Concord, and we have seen the use of Concord in sentences. We have seen the rules, about 12 rules of Concord. Students should endeavor to study this video over and over again and learn more so as to be able to use Concord correctly in the exam. In fact, students cannot escape questions from Concord when it comes to the objective section of the English language. And also when students write essays, students need to master Concord, because when you break Concord rules, the examiner will deduct your mark for that. So students should endeavor to study more so as to master the rule of Concord. I have presented this video, and I know that you have benefited one way or the other. Share this video with your friends, like the video, and most importantly, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that this video can go viral, so that this video can reach more students, and this video can reach more students. Until I come your way again, my name is Tony James.